Oh, yeah, it's happening. We're getting it. Here it comes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Just Nuts. Today we had some news. I love it when we get news. We're finally getting some more news. This one's actually a little more hype than the last one, though. So today we've got Lingaribo. I don't think this card is officially revealed for any set in the TCG, but we have its effects revealed at least to know what this card is. We don't know when we'll get it. We don't know if we'll get it in Ignition Assault per se, but at least we know what it does. So at least looking at what it does, we've got Ringaribo, a Link 1 Dark Cybers Link effect monster, very similar style to Linkaribo, but I believe this is specific to at Ignisters. Anyway, it has 300 attack. It points bottom left, and its materials are any level 4 lower Cybers monster, so still keeping it fairly generic. Both of its effects are hard once per turns. The first effect, when an opponent's trap card is activated, quick effect, you contribute this card as cost, negate that effect, and if you do, banish it. Whoo, boy. What the heck? This is so spicy. I mean, you think about stuff like Salamangreat setting up Rage or Roar. You think about Orcus setting up Crescendo. Literally, you could like normal summon a Cybers monster, link it into this. You haven't activated any effects to be negated. And then right there, you already have like a... Well, you can't negate... Oh, you can't negate Roar and Crescendo. But at least Rage you can. Rage you can. But not Rage and Crescendo because you can't do, or Roar and Crescendo because you can't negate counter traps. But still Rage and other examples as well. I mean, we've seen like Paleozoic Dynamiscus getting more play, and traps in general. We're going into it. We've been in a more closer to a control format. So this card would be very good in that. Second effect, if this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you contribute 1 Ad Ignister monster that was special summoned from the extra deck as cost to special summon this card. Another very solid effect if you are in a matchup where trap cards are going to be prevalent, just the fact that you can trade it in for maybe an XZs that you already used all the materials off of, and you just want to get this guy on board because he's a legitimate negator. If you want to make a link play, he may be better for that. Just a really solid card. I mean, it's a negate. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a link 1, so you can't expect the best negate out there. You can't expect this to just like a negate a monster and destroy it and banish it specifically, but I'll take negated trap. This is still solid. It's technically it's generic cyber support. You could just link, you could just finish off your board if you know you're playing Altergeist, if you know you're playing Subterrors. Like you could just make this guy last with like a level 4 lower Cybers. Definitely playable. Cool card. I really like it. Alright. Hell yeah. Alright. So then we look at a new spell that was revealed for the Warrior Strike structure deck. Pretty cool artwork here. It's like a giant hand. I can't really tell what's going on. Alright, but anyway. We've got, let's see, what does it say? Also shown an evocator along with sleeves and a mat based on Gearfried. Okay, cool. But yeah, for the spell, it's called Crossover. It's a normal spell card that you can only activate once per turn. So it's hard once per turn. Target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and 1 warrior monster you control. That is your cost. Equip that opponent's face-up monster to your monster, and if you do, any battle damage that monster you control inflicts to your opponent becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. And if it would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy the monster equipped to it by this effect instead. Wow, okay. So this card's actually pretty solid. I mean, it does need to be paired up with a warrior, but when you think about like what this deck's trying to do, you're trying to get an equip on board so that God Gearfried, I believe he summons himself by sending a equip spell to the graveyard, so that monster, you just send that, special himself out, and then you've already got him out, and you kind of go from there. It's pretty solid so far. I think it's a solid going second card or later in the duel card. Not too great to start out with unless this is supposed to be a going second deck, which based off of Phoenix God Gearfried, I would not be surprised would that be the case. It does target, but it does remove a monster without destruction. It does not put them in the graveyard immediately to be a resource to possibly float for your opponent, so that could be another plus as well. I think it's a solid card. I think, and it's generic too when you think about it. Any warrior deck could just play this. Normal summon a warrior, take an opponent's monster, and then do the rest of your shit. If that was a scary monster, you know what I mean? Pretty good. I think it baits negates, and if they don't have negates, you're just stealing stuff. I mean, you think about like Pendulum, just steal a Jackal King. If they don't have the spell or trap negate, you just steal Jackal King, and then there goes the monster negate, and you kind of like sitting pretty. It's pretty solid. So, pretty cool card. Pretty cool, both of these. I think Adagnister getting another little bump. Adagnister, I think, is going to shape up to be a very strong archetype, and yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for me here. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think about where this card is. If there's any other like random warrior decks that this card would be specifically good in. Maybe it's a side deck card for warrior decks just to help break through boards. I don't know. Definitely let me know down below, as well as Lingaribo. That card seems insane. Really does. In like a not insane but still insane kind of way. I don't know. It's a Link 1 negate stuff. Like, that's got to be insane, right? Whatever. I'm talking too much, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe to the channel for more stuff from me in the future. And peace. Good night.